my friends, I'm Victoria. Welcome back to my channel. It is Friday, so it's the start of a new reading vlog this week. And I don't have a theme. Most of these are spooky horror related and a little bit fantasy as well. The first book I have on my list is House of Hunger by Alexis Henderson. I read The Year of the Witching by her recently and loved it. So I'm really excited about this one because it's about vampires. You know, I love vampires. This is about a girl who is a blood maid, and in this world that we're in, I think it's like the 1800s, but in this fantasy universe that we're in, we have these different levels of society, and we have some houses of vampires, or it seems to be vampires, that are more elite and very wealthy and prominent and kind of control a lot of things. And our main character sees an ad for a new blood maid at one of these houses, and it's called the House of Hunger. It seems that she gets that job, and then things ensue. There's sinister things going on in this house. We kind of learn the truth about this family, and it also says that it turns into a game of cat and mouse with our main character and then the family or the main vampire that lives there. So I'm so excited about this. You know, I love vampires, and it just sounds really good to carry on the spooky October feels into November, but not being super Halloween at the same time. You know what I mean? So I am very excited about it. Hello, Remy. Oh, there he goes. But the next one is The Unmaking of June Farrow by Adrienne Young. This one's sorry if you can hear my ramen noodles boiling in the background, and this cat's just doing whatever. Okay, come on, Remy. So this one's a fantasy thriller, and hello, and it's a new release as well. So I've heard good things about this one, and I'm excited about it. So we have this girl who her family is cursed, and when she was younger, her mom disappeared, and she ended up going to live with her grandmother. Now she's older, she's moved away, and her grandmother has passed, and she's going home to kind of deal with the funeral and the death of her grandmother and her property and stuff. And in this, she starts seeing things, and she thinks that it's the curse coming to get her now, just like how it got her mom. And one of the things that she starts seeing is a door, and she wonders what if I go through this door, will I find stuff out? Will I figure out this curse? Will I find stuff out about my mom? She does go through, and then things happen. So I'm really curious to see when she walks through that door, what ensues, if we're in a different world, if it's a different timeline, or what is actually happening. This sounds so interesting to me. And I feel a lot of times there aren't a ton of fantasy thrillers either. So I'm really excited to give this a shot. The next one I have on my list for this vlog is Bridge by Lauren Bukes. This is another new release, and this one, instead of a fantasy thriller, it is a sci-fi thriller. So this one kind of sounds a little bit similar to the Unmaking of June Farrow, but instead we have this girl who her mom has passed away, and her mom, it seems like she had some mental issues. And her mom used to play this game and talk about these other worlds and universes. And she's like, well, what if this is actually true? Things start to happen to where she's like, what if there are other worlds and realities? And what if my mom is actually just in one of those other alternate realities? And it sounds similar because she is on the search for her mom. So a lot of mother-daughter relationships here, which I love. I love stories about mother-daughter relationships. I think it's going to be a good mix of spooky thriller fantasy, and I'm excited about it. I do have a ton of fantasy on my list for November, and I'm interested to see just how this month goes, and if I have a really good reading month reading this much fantasy, because normally it's not, I like it, but it's normally not my favorite thing. So but I think these, how they bring in the thriller aspect, will make them a little bit more up my alley. So I can't wait to get them a read. It is lunchtime now. Like I said, I'm making ramen, and I don't have any plans for tonight. Drew's mom and aunt are actually coming in town tomorrow night. So tomorrow I have to clean. That's my main objective tomorrow, is cleaning. And I am going to listen to the audiobook of House of Hunger. So I think I might be able to finish it between tonight and tomorrow while I'm cleaning before they get here. And then I don't know how busy I'll be or how long this vlog is actually gonna last, because I don't know what all of our plans are when they're here, so we shall see. We are going to see Queen, so, well, Queen, like Adam Lambert and like Brian May and whoever the other guy is, but Drew's mom is obsessed with Queen. So we're all going to see Queen together, and then, so I will update y'all once I've read a little bit of House of Hunger and I have some info for you. Hello my friends, it is Saturday morning now, and yesterday we ended up going to the movies. We saw the Marsh King's Daughter. I'm like, what was it called? We had never heard of it before, and we have like the AMC like A-list pass where you can go see like 3 movies a week for, you know, one price, which I highly recommend. Like, it's such a good deal because I think it's like $22 a month, and I mean, you can see up to 3 movies a week, and it includes IMAX, which is crazy because like one IMAX ticket's like what, $15-16 now, which is wild. But yeah, so we were just like, let's just go see a movie. We went to this place called Inchins, which is like, whenever we go to this theater, we almost always go to Inchins. It's very good. It's like Indo-Chinese. It actually is a chain. Like they opened one here like a year ago. There's one in Dallas, like in the Las Colinas area that we used to go to all the time when we lived there, and we loved it. So we were stoked when they opened one in Denver. We were like, yay. And then there's also one in Nashville. They're kind of all over the place. So I would highly recommend. They have a ton of vegan options, and they have this like crispy chili baby corn that is so good. And then like these chili garlic noodles that we love. Oh, it's fantastic. So highly recommend if you have one near you. We love it so much. It's very tasty. So yeah, we just went to dinner, went to that movie. It was an interesting movie. I mean, it's like a suspense thriller, and I don't want to give anything away because I feel like it was kind of fun going in without literally knowing anything about it. I had never even heard of it before, so we were like, oh, okay. But it is based off of a book by the same name. But it definitely has like Where the Crawdads Sing vibes. So if you like that, you'll probably really like this movie. Though Where the Crawdads Sing was like better than this one, was definitely better than this one, but we still had fun. And I did read some, and then also like I painted my nails, and so while I was painting my nails, I listened to House of Hunger 2, and I'm almost 50% in now, I think, and it's fantastic. It's so good. I can't get over the atmosphere, just like the eeriness that it provides. It's interesting because it doesn't right out say vampires. I mean, it hasn't at this point. It's just an assumption, like that's what's going on. Jasper. So our main character, Marion, yeah, I think that's her name. She lives in like this southern part of the area, and that's where like a lot of the poorer people live. Like her family is not wealthy. They kind of struggle to get by. And really the women in this society have like 2 options. They can either like sell themselves, well actually like 3 options, I guess. They can like sell themselves, or marry a bachelor, like to move up in class, or they can become a blood maid. And they're not offered very many other options beside that. And our main character, Marion, her brother is really sick. He's been sick for a while, and he's kind of awful to her, honestly, like not a good person, but she feels like indebted to him, and like, I mean, it's her brother, so she's like, I gotta take care of him. But her and her friends see this ad in the paper for a blood maid, and it's for a blood maid for one of the wealthiest families. So there's like 4 families that are like the height of society, and it's like House of Hunger, House of Mirrors, House of Fog, and House of Shadows. I could be making that last one up, but they've been like height of society for generations. House of Hunger is like the tippity top of society. So she sees this ad and she's like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And it's kind of one of those things where it's definitely, they even say it's kind of like indentured servitude, because she pretty much just signs her life away for a period of time. She basically just belongs to this house and to this countess. She really sees no other way out of her predicament in like her life at this time. And so she's like, you know what, I'm gonna do it. And this guy, it's kind of interesting because he calls himself like a sommelier of blood. And she goes to like try out for this position, and he tests her blood, and he's like, oh my gosh, your blood is like so special. I've never tasted anything like you before. And and she gets the job. And when her brother finds out, they do get it into an altercation, but she does end up going. And the atmosphere that it builds just from her going from where she's living now in the south up to the north, like they take this train and the atmosphere is so there, and the house and just everything, it's so good, it's so good. She gets there and it is the house of Elizabeth Bathory. which blew my mind. I had no idea like that was the character that was being brought into this book at all. And it's so funny because a few weeks ago, and I was thinking about the movie Stay Alive. Have you ever watched that movie? Because it's really cheesy and not that great, but it's like one of those like early 2000s horror movies that I absolutely freaking love. I saw it in theaters when I was younger and I love it so much. And I highly recommend it if you haven't watched it. But that was the first time I ever heard of Elizabeth Bathory. And, you know, there's this woman who used to bathe and use women's blood to like keep her young. Like she really thought it kept her young. And then some people believe that she would like drink their blood and then kill them. So very interesting. It was like, I need to look in to see if there's any vampire books or anything about Elizabeth Bathory, because I would love to read it. And then she's in this one. So I was like, I was so stoked. So yeah, that's the Countess that she's going to serve and be a blood maid to. And she gets there and there's multiple blood maids, but they kind of have a rank. And once you get to like the top rank, like right now she's starting out, she's number 5, but the person in the top rank, all these additional perks and benefits, and just gets to be the favorite pretty much. But even without being in that top rank, like her life is completely changed. She's like living in this huge mansion, a life of luxury, getting all this amazing food and just things she would have never been able to access previously. So her life has pretty much changed overnight. But then it's like, well, what is she signing over and giving up to have this life? And how long is this sustainable? Because I mean, Elizabeth is ravenous. It says that she is like sick and she has to drink a lot of blood just to keep her healthy. And that's just kind of like the fantasy world that we're in. Like people can get sick and then if they drink the blood, it keeps them healthy and can help them live for longer. So very interesting. And Elizabeth is already liking the way that Marianne tastes. So there's that. And there's all these like different rules she has to adhere to, but she's also kind of finding some things in her room left over from the blood maid before her. And then we're like, well, what happened to her? Is there sinister things going on with that? That's pretty much what's happening so far. We're building up and we're just really still being introduced to this new life that she's in. And I'm freaking loving it. I love it so much. It's right up my alley. Atmosphere is there. It's like it's been perfect for like transitioning away from Halloween into just fall, because it still has like that eeriness to it. It's not scary at all. It definitely has more of like a fantasy feel, but the darkness and the spookiness is definitely there, and I'm loving it so much. Oh my gosh. And I was a huge fan of The Year of the Witching by this author, and I'm already liking this more. So I'm really excited about it. But also at this mansion, it's kind of funny because everyone the people that are higher in society, like there's these constant parties going on and people just like partying, gambling, drinking, you know, doing sexual things just out in the open. It's very much like, if you've watched The Great on Hulu, which I highly, highly recommend, it's so good and it's hilarious. But the beginning of that series, it kind of shows how the Tsar is living and how it's just constant partying and chaos, and there's just no one cares about anything and they're just like trying to have fun. That vision is exactly how I'm envisioning the people in this book to be acting. So I just thought that was funny. And you know, when you don't have to worry about money or anything else, it's like they're like, we're bored, what should we do? Like, how crazy can we get? And it's just very interesting. So yeah, that's how far I am now. Like I said, I think I mentioned that Drew's mom and aunt are coming into town from Texas tonight. I thought they got here at like 8 p.m., but they don't even get in till like 10. So, so yeah, I have plenty of time, but I am mostly gonna be cleaning today. I'm trying to think if I'm gonna put my Halloween decor away today or wait one more week. I'm not sure. We shall see. But I am watching my neighbor's cat. They just live like 2 floors down from us, and she has the cutest little cat. It's like a grumpy cat. I don't know what they're called, but they are like long haired. She's got a little smoosh face. Well, her name's Clarice, and she's so cute. So I am going to take Jasper outside, then go down there, hang out with Clarice for a little bit, and feed her and, you know, make sure she's all good and doesn't feel too alone. And then I'm gonna come back up and start cleaning, and I'll be listening to House of Hunger while I clean. But yeah, I will update y'all a little bit later. Oh, is that nice? It's actually like 1:30 now. I got so sidetracked. I took Jasper outside, I hung out with Clarice, and then my sister called me and we were on the phone for forever, and she just had another little baby girl, so we were FaceTiming, we were just chatting, catching up, and I got to see the little baby, which was so nice. She is the cutest little thing. But now it's 1:30 and I'm like, okay, time to get going. My cat just jumped into a box. Drew also ordered a litter robot, which very excited about, though I am very lucky and he cleans the litter box like 99% of the time. So it was probably like, I want a litter robot really bad. And so we got one, obviously not sponsored, we bought this, but they delivered it and they didn't bring it up to like our door, and we live on the 3rd floor, and they did put it in our building. So it's like a log like coated building, but it was on the 1st floor, and Drew's like out, he's getting a tattoo. So I think he's gonna like be doing that for the next like few hours. So I carried it up by myself because I was like, I'm not gonna leave this down there. Just, I mean, it's expensive. I don't want to leave it down there. So me carrying this up was an experience and a workout, I will have to say. So I'm like, I don't blame the delivery driver for not bringing this up here. But the cat already likes it. He's sitting on the box. So yeah, I'm interested to see how it works, so I'll update you and let you know what I think, because it definitely is like an investment thing. But if you break it down for like how long a cat lives, like Remy, we adopted him 2 years ago. We actually got him on Halloween 2 years ago, and he was 7 when we got him, so he's 9 now. But I mean, cats live till like 20 sometimes. So I think the price per like use totally evens out, like if it works well. So I'm excited to see that. I also got some Crocs delivered. Crocs was having a crazy sale, and I am a Crocs convert. I used to hate them. I think a lot of us did, but I love them so much now, and they're like comfy, easy to slide on, perfect for like taking the dog out on a walk, and just kind of cute. Like, I don't know, they've had a glow up. So they're also made in Colorado, like their headquarters is in the Denver area, which is interesting. Like, I know people that work at Crocs corporate, which is cool, but they had a 2 for $50 sale, which, like, I think one of these pairs that I got is like $70 on their own. I think one was like 60 and one was like 70 or 80. So I think I saved like $100. And look, and they actually had some in my size. Like, I have these tiny baby feet, so I have to get a size 4, and they actually had some cute ones on the sale that were a size 4. So I got these. Aren't they so cute? I love the ones with the little platform because I am so short that it gives me a little height. And they got these like little removable chains. Isn't that adorable? I also love this like beigey cream color. It will go with everything. And then I got these sandals, which I was like, these are so cute. They got little studs, and I just thought these would be so comfy. So I mean, yeah, these are more for like spring, summer, but I was like, $25 a piece. That's like giving away money if I don't buy them. Like, it's fiscally irresponsible to not buy them. So I'm really excited about it. I love some Crocs, and they fit. I was worried about them fitting, but they both fit, so it's a miracle. And it's a struggle for me to find shoes. If I have any other small feet girlies out there, check ASOS. ASOS carries size 4 in a lot of styles and options, and I feel like that's one of the only places I can find like heels and things that aren't like booties and stuff like that, where I can, you know, wear like 2 pairs of socks to like make them fit. But like for heels and stuff, it's so great. So highly recommend ASOS if you got tiny baby feet. But anyway, I am about to start cleaning. Drew's gonna clean the bathroom in our upstairs loft area when he gets back, and then I'm cleaning like the kitchen, living room, dining room, bedroom, everything else. And luckily, Drew's mom and aunt aren't staying with us, so I don't have to worry about like washing sheets and like doing that additional things. So that's good. But yeah, I'm gonna start cleaning. I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna put the Halloween decor up or not. I think I'm gonna start and clean the kitchen, and I think I will take the Halloween stuff down because I only have like 3 things in here that are Halloween, and then see how I feel and then go from there and decide if I'm gonna like continue with the Halloween thing, because I have to go down and get like the tubs from our garage. So it's like down 2 floors, carry it up and then put everything away, then carry it back down to the garage, and it's a whole thing, and is kind of annoying. So we shall see how I feel. But yeah, but I'm kind of wanting to, because I want to decorate for Halloween. Or I mean, not Halloween. If only. I want to decorate for Christmas. I don't know. I'm just rambling. Y'all don't care. Okay. Okay, friends, I am still cleaning. And I did decide to take down all of the Halloween decorations. So cleaning's taking a little bit longer than usual, but I'm getting there. I'm pretty much done. I got the bedroom all done, dining room done, kitchen half done. I just got to put up all of this Halloween stuff, and then just wipe the counters. And then I work on the living room, and I should be good. I got like the bar area entry done. So yeah, making progress. But I just finished House of Hunger. I absolutely loved it. I think I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. There was some parts in the 50 to 75% mark where I did get a little bit bored. I feel like that always happens to me. Why? But everything else I absolutely loved. The competition between these girls and these blood maids for like love and this job and being at the height and like trying to be #1 blood maid. Just the competition there is so wild, because it's like you want so badly to be bled and be bled daily. And they see like how, these other blood maids, like when they got there, the blood maid that was #1, how she was just so frail, like barely surviving because she was like constantly being bled. But they are like, have bought into this job so much that they're just like vying for this person's attention and love. And it's so bizarre, but it kind of makes sense how it's like this, your job as a blood maid now, this is what you're gonna do. And like they yearn for being #1. And at first it's not sapphic, but it does get sapphic, and I love that. I absolutely love that aspect. So it's very much like these blood maids, they bleed, and Elizabeth Bathory feeds off of them, but then they also have like sexual relationships, and she pretty much just like owns them. It's a very interesting dynamic going on, and it's sad because you can tell that they are preying on people that don't have anything, and don't have much of a family, and they like go there, they have, for the first time ever, they have all this food and they're living like in this lavish castle and lifestyle, and how they bought into it so hard. But things do get more sinister, as you could imagine. I think like there's no real twist here. I feel like it's pretty apparent what is going on the whole time, and I think that's fine. Like I feel like that makes sense and worked well with this. It also has a bit of a like Mexican Gothic feel, definitely Gothic for sure, but like if you've read Mexican Gothic, it does kind of remind me of that a little bit. And I enjoyed Mexican Gothic. Like I kind of know that it's hit or miss for some people, but I really liked it. But yeah, it turns sapphic. Our main girl, her and Marian and Elizabeth definitely have something going on, and Elizabeth does start to favor her, and things just escalate from there. I don't want to give anything away, but we learn a lot more about this community, these people, the elite, and Elizabeth herself. And the thing is like she's very mysterious like the whole time, and she doesn't give a lot away. Obviously it's all calculated, and it's like the whole time you're like, she doesn't care about anyone. Like, and I'm like, as much as like I want her and like Marian to have like a nice relationship together, that's not possible. Like the dynamic and the power dynamic between their relationship is so messed up, and so unhealthy and toxic. And even though I did say I got a little bit bored at that point, it wasn't even like bad. It was just like there was a few things where I was like, okay, well, I don't really care about this. Let's move on to the next. And there was like quite a few scenes with them together and then also other people. But when things start escalating, there was something that happened at the, I want to say 80% mark. Yeah, I looked, it was like 79%. And I was like, oh, she asked that of you? She asked you to do that and you're willing to do that? Like, okay. Like, it's just wild how these bloodmates have like been put under a spell by this lady. And I love how everything wrapped up and how it ended up going in the end. Overall, great time. Atmosphere was killer. If you like dark, eerie mansions, gardens, catacombs. Yeah, we have catacombs here. I love it. So if you are into that, I would highly recommend this. The atmosphere was awesome. And now I'm like talking about it, I'm like, should I just give it 5 stars? It was so good. It was so good. I highly recommend, especially, I mean, I don't even think, even if you love vampires, like if you don't love vampires, I would still recommend this. If you do, I would 1,000 bajillion% recommend this. But beware, there is a lot of talk about like blood, like body horror stuff. So be aware of that. It actually went farther into it than I anticipated. There were some scenes where I was like, oh yeah, yikes. That makes me a little squeamish. So be aware of that because it definitely does go there. And I'm actually kind of surprised how far it went in some spots because I definitely did go deeper into the horror elements than I thought it would. Like the gothic horror is there. The body horror is there. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But man, it was so good. Drew just called me. He is done with his tattoo. When he gets home, we're gonna like go to Legal Pete's and get some like late lunch, early dinner. I mean, it's like 4 p.m. now. Where did the time go? I don't know. But yeah, so that's my plan. I'm gonna keep cleaning. Well, actually, I might change pants because my pants have like dust and grossness all over them. And do that and come back and finish wrapping up cleaning. So I think I will start, what's due next? I think Bridge is due next. So that is what I will start listening to next when I pick back up on the cleaning game. Hello, my friends. It is a Saturday night and we went and got some Illegal Pete's, which if you don't know what that is, it's kind of like Chipotle, but better. So yeah, we went and we had some early dinner and then I came back and I kept on cleaning and I'm finally done. Drew helped a lot too, so that's nice, but I did get pretty far into before I said I was going to read Bridge, but actually the Unmaking of June Farrow was due next. So I started that one and I'm actually like over 50% in. That's how much cleaning I did. And I'm really liking it so far. It's kind of surprising because, I mean, the synopsis does give a bit away because I would say like the first, 30% is we're like seeing her kind of unravel and she started seeing these things, but her grandma has passed away. She lives in this town. I thought that she had left town from the synopsis, but no, she has stayed in this town. And her mom disappeared when she was just like a little baby. So, and no one knows what happened to her. They haven't seen her, but she was just gone. So she was raised by her grandma, and then there was this other like family friend that was really close with them that helped raise her too. And she works on this farm. They live on a flower farm, so they grow like dahlias and they grow like dahlias and sunflowers and all kinds of flowers. And you know, their main thing is like summer, wedding season, that kind of thing. And there is this one guy named Mason who has been her friend for many, many years, and they're super close. And he also works on the farm and helps out. So her grandma passes away, and we learned that when her mom disappeared, she was seeing things, and people really was just thinking like, you know, she has gone off in the woods, she has ended it all, like, you know, she was mentally unwell. So no one asked any questions about her mom, like when she disappeared. And
And by the end of it, her grandma had been seeing things too. And come to find out, June has also been seeing things for about a year. And she's been like keeping a journal, tracking like everything she's been seeing. And there's like certain things and people that she sees, but she's also been seeing this red door. And, things start to spiral. We find out a little bit more about the family and about this red door. And she does end up going through it, which I'm not spoiling anything because that's in the synopsis. So, but I kind of wish it wasn't, but that's okay. But so she ends up going through the door, and we are introduced to, I don't know if I want to say like alternate timelines or like alternate realities or what it is, but it is in that realm. And this one's so hard to talk about. Like, this is very hard to talk about because I feel like it's so hard not to spoil it, and I don't want to spoil it for you because I am kind of loving it. The characters are really likable. June is very likable. She has a good head on her shoulders, but she's also like understanding like her gripping with reality and like losing touch with reality, and then finding out, well, maybe there's more to the story. And then like also like her family friends, like her like Mason that she grew up with seems like a really nice, wholesome person. And like when he found out that like she had been seeing things, he was like, oh no, the curse is getting her, like it's happening to her too. And it's kind of like a thing where like everyone around them kind of figured it would happen to her at some point, and they just think it's like a genetic mental illness kind of situation. And honestly, the people around her seem really nice and caring, and like they want to help, which is great. And she's also talked about too how like she has made the decision to never have kids, to not have a family, because she knows that this curse would just be passed down and it would happen to her kid, and she doesn't want to put that on anyone else. And she's like, this line dies with me. Like, that's her decision that she's made. And she talks too about how she has felt some sort of affection towards Mason, but she wants him to like go and live his own life because she knows that she can't give him a family or a marriage in the same way that like in a normal way. So, they've stayed separate, even though it seems like they both really love each other. And when she steps through that door, we are introduced to, I don't know what to say. When she opens that door, we're introduced to, just Pandora's box just opens up. Like, I don't even know how else to say it. It does get very interesting. And, we're also shown right off the bat, we're talking about how where they've grown up. Like her mom, like pretty much what happened to her mom is one of the only bad things that has ever happened to that town. Like her mom disappearing, and then this old like pastor being murdered at one point. Those are like the only two things that has ever happened in this town. But when she steps through that door, we're introduced to other elements, and then we're questioning, okay, what's the truth? Because you get little nibbles of stuff, and then we get introduced to like new characters. But the mystery is really there. Like the mystery, the suspense, I'm just like, what? I don't know. And it does say that there's a bit of romance in here, but I don't think it's a very minimal. Like, super duper minimal. So, at this point, like I am really wondering what is actually going on. Like the mystery's there, and I can't wait to find out the truth. So yeah, I can't wait to see where this goes. I'm really enjoying it. I love our characters so far, and the build up and just the way the story is written and how it's like keeping you hooked, but it's giving you like little nibbles of stuff as you go along, but like it's really keeping me hooked, and I'm excited. So I will update you once I finish it, because it's very hard to talk about at this point. Like I don't want to give anything away, but Drew has gone to the airport to go pick up his mom and his aunt, and I'm just hanging out here. I went to check on my neighbor's cat, and had the rest of my illegal peats because I didn't eat it all at like 4:30 or whenever we went and got it. So I just had that. I will update you tomorrow when I have a little bit more to tell you. Well, hello, my friends. It is a few days later. On Sunday, Saturday night, Drew's mom and aunt got into town. Y'all know that. And I thought that the Queen show was like on a weekday. I thought the Queen show was like Monday or Tuesday. And it wasn't. It was Sunday night. So, Sunday morning, I did read a bit, and I still have like 25% of The Unmaking of June Farrow left. And I'm hoping to finish that tonight. But we've been so busy. Like, I didn't expect us to like constantly be doing stuff, because they come up here semi-often. I mean, prior to COVID, at least, they used to come up a lot, like every few months. And I feel like we kind of do everything, and a lot of times we just like kind of hang out, chill, and watch TV, watch movies, and just have like cozy time together. But that was not the case for this trip, which is totally fine. I had a lot of fun. Sunday morning, when I got up, I read a bit more of the book, and then I started getting ready because we were all going to go to brunch at 10. And, we did that, went to brunch. It was very good. We went to Snooze. If you have one near you, you should definitely go. They have really tasty vegan pancakes and like a tofu scramble and a lot of good stuff, and really good Bloody Marys, and mimosas too. I mean, I think everyone that has gone to Snooze likes it. So there's that. But, yeah, so we went there, and then after that we went to Breckenridge Brewery and had a drink, and then we came back to the apartment, watched the Cowboys game, but really it was just like Drew watching the Cowboys game. Like, we were all talking, and then after that we went to Queen, because Queen was Sunday night, and I thought, like, I didn't realize until during brunch when I was like, so what's the plan today? Like, what are we gonna do? And they were like, well, the show's at 8, and I was like, oh my gosh, that's tonight. Because in my brain, I had planned, I was like, oh, Sunday night, we won't do a ton. We'll probably be back home, and they'll be back to their Airbnb by 10 p.m. I could edit, read a bit, and go to bed. But that just was not the case. Like, we didn't get home till 12:30 a.m. on Sunday night. So, but Queen was amazing. Like, it was actually so good. Like, they were all so talented, but like, Adam Lambert's voice is otherworldly. Like, I've never heard anyone sing like that, and just like, he makes it look so easy. It was wild. I could not believe my ears. But it was so good, and I had a lot of fun. But yeah, that threw me off. Monday morning, I was exhausted. I was so tired. Of course, I had work. I have that 7 a.m. meeting on Mondays. And so I only had a few hours of sleep. And yeah, Monday, I was just not feeling it. I was struggling. I got off at 3 because I start so early, and they were like, we'll be there at 3. You get off at 3, right? And I was like, oh no. And I was like, oh gosh, because I thought I would have time to like take a nap, because I was struggling, because we had reservations Monday night at Stranahan's Distillery. It's like a whiskey distillery here in Denver, and that was at 6:30. So I was like, well, perfect. I'll take like an hour nap, and then I'll be ready to go. But no, they got here like a little after 3. We hung out for like an hour until Drew got home from work, and then we headed to the distillery and got a couple of drinks there before doing the tour. And then after that, they were a hoot. See, I hate whiskey, so I was like, I took like tiny sips of like each of the things that they gave to test, but I just can't do it. I hate it so much. And so I gave like Drew the rest of mine, and then with the elevation and everything, his mom and his aunt were a little bit tipsy, so it was actually really funny. But then we went to Sputnik, we got some food. I got a vegan corn dog, as always, and vegan mac and cheese, and it was so good. But then we came back to our apartment, sat outside the apartment area. There's like a fire pit that they have out there. We sat over there and talked, and that was until like midnight. So yeah, and I was so tired. And then yesterday worked. They came here at like 4 p.m. That's like when I got off work. So that's when they came here, and they went to the mountains for the day, which is fun. But yeah, Tuesday
we did stay in. We made chili. Well, Drew made chili for us. And then we watched Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I feel like it's a good crowd pleaser. Like, it's a very wholesome, sweet movie. If you've never seen it, it's very adorable and just like uplifting. I really love it. So they hadn't seen it, so we watched that. And at that point, I think it was like 10:30, 10, I don't know. Yeah, at that point, I was like, I'm so tired. I went straight to bed. I didn't even wash my face. I was like so exhausted. I just went straight to bed. So I have not read in a few days at all, which is crazy because typically I have time at night and like before bed I like to read. It does like calm me down and like helps me go to sleep. But no, it was not happening. I did not edit at all. Like, it was the first time I had skipped a Tuesday upload because it was just there. I had no time. It was not possible, which is a big bummer. Like, I felt bad about it, but then I'm also like, be easy on yourself. And I was like, I'll just push back what I was going to upload on Tuesday. I'll upload on Thursday, and then my Thursday upload I'll do on Sunday, and then I'll be back on my regular schedule next week, which is fine. But I'm just so behind on reading because I would like to finish Bridge in this too. So we shall see if it gets there, if it doesn't. But yeah, I definitely got to get to reading. So, and updates on the book, I don't really have a ton. We are still kind of learning about this story and this mystery and kind of just trying to piece together the truth. And it's definitely just at the point where I don't know who to trust. Everyone seems a little bit confusing. Everyone seems like they might be lying a little bit because our main character can't really remember. So, and there's parts that she doesn't know and she doesn't remember. And I'm just like, is there going to be a big twist? Is there going to be a betrayal? I don't know. But I should be able to finish it soon. I'm not too far away from the end. Like I said, I'm like 75% in. So I am hopeful that I can finish it tonight. I also need to edit the video tonight because it is Wednesday. So I need to edit a video to get that up tomorrow morning. So those are my plans. I'm trying to have a chill night, do nothing but that. So we shall see. But I will update y'all in a little bit. Hello, my friends. It's Wednesday at night, and I have finished The Unmaking of June Farrow. And what really sucks about it all is that I didn't realize it was about to return itself, and it returned itself back to the library. So I had to use an Audible credit just to finish the last like hour of the audiobook. Why has this happened to me? I don't know what's going on with me this week. I'm struggling. Straight up, this might be the worst reading vlog ever. I don't know. I am having a hard time. I'm just all over the place. Having family in town, it was like a lot of eating and drinking and just talking, which if you know me, I don't do a lot of social interaction. Like, I like to do one thing or two things a week, maybe. Like, 2 is tops. So having to be around and like entertain people for multiple days in a row is a lot for me, and it exhausted me. I'm not gonna lie. But I finished the book after having to use an Audible credit on it. It's fine. But I was not crazy about this one, and I'm kind of surprised because I hadn't looked at the ratings or anything until I went to go put in my like Goodreads review, and this has amazing ratings. Like, so many people are like, this is the best thing ever, 5 stars, blah, blah, blah. And I just did not get that. I ended up giving it 3 stars. Now, which is not horrible, obviously. Like, that's still good. But the second half lost me so much. I was not interested in it. And you know what? I probably would have finished it faster if I was like super into it, but I just wasn't. So, but the first half, I did enjoy. I thought it had beautiful writing. I loved how it kicked off talking about this family and these women and the generations of this curse. And I kind of did expect it to go more into like a mental illness, like generational mental illness, like commentary route. And it's not that at all. So that wasn't there, which is fine. With the initial kickoff with this family, the funeral, and having all this like mystery and suspense building up to like, what is this curse? Like, what's real? Why is she seeing stuff? Is what she's seeing is real? And then even up to the point where she goes through the door and like
It is time travel. I was trying to not say it, but it's like, it's literally everywhere. I don't know why I feel like I need to hide it. It's pretty obvious that it's like a time travel thing. So if you're into time travel tropes or going back in time, you might enjoy this. I don't know. But yeah, the initial time travel was good. But in the second half of the book, I got so bored. I was really struggling to make it through. And they have this romance in there that I just could not care less about. I truly could not feel any emotion with this relationship, especially because how it starts out. It starts out when she first walks through the door. I just couldn't feel any connection or chemistry with those two characters. And I wish more that it just focused on like mother-daughter relationships, because I feel like that would have been something I would have been more invested in, and it could have gone a little bit deeper and had a little bit more to say. The romance felt so surface level, and I don't know why it was such a large chunk of this book, because I feel like it just didn't need to be there as much as it was. And then the ending was not good. The last bit, I was like, okay. And I even wrote this in my Goodreads review that like when the twist happens, I was like absolutely upset. I was pissed because it was just, there's no twist. It's not a twist. If someone didn't see this coming, if someone didn't know that that was what was going on, I would be absolutely shocked. So the end gave nothing. I'm just going to say that. I know it sounds harsh and that I hate this book. I don't. I just feel like it started out super strong. And the writing was really pretty, and the mystery was kind of there and the suspense was there, and then it just dropped off in the second half, and it just became the most standard lit fiction book I could imagine. Like, it's not even a ton of, like, the science fiction-y aspect is barely there. The mystery loses me. So yeah, didn't love it. I didn't hate it. Almost did, but I didn't. The beginning saved it. Would I recommend it? I don't think so. Unless you really love like time travel kind of thing, maybe. And now I really wish I would have read Bridge in this vlog, because I feel like those kind of have similar premises, and I would love to like compare them both. Now I'm like, should I fit it in this blog? I did just go to Goodreads to see what people are saying about Bridge, and a lot of the reviews were like, it's very confusing, very intense, like you should ring along, there's lots of things going on, and immediately I was like, no. Not in the headspace for that this week, so I am not going to read that in this vlog, so just wanted to put that in there. I will add it to a TBR in another month. But I'm gonna go ahead and film an outro here. But yeah, at least House of Hunger was the biggest hit ever. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was fantastic. The atmosphere was killer. I mean, so many things about it were killer. I loved it so much, and I highly recommend it, especially like for this time of year. It's so perfect. So definitely pick that up if you haven't yet. I loved it so much. Also, if you've read The Year of the Witching and not this, I think I like this more. So yeah, I thought House of Hunger was just so good. But overall, I had a good week. I'm just tired. So yeah, you know, we had one big win, one meh, okay book. So yeah, could have been worse. But anyway, I thank you so much for being here, especially if you're still watching. I know that this vlog was probably chaotic and confusing. And you know what? I'm also confused, so, you know, we're both in that same boat. But if I don't continue this video, this is the end, and I thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. If you like this video and you like the chaos, give a thumbs up. So yeah, thank you so much again, and I hope you have the best spooky day.